Hello there, it's Friday and all sorts of interesting developments in the fight against coronavirus. The RBI Governor, Shaktikant Das, came out and announced a fresh set of measures which was essentially intended to put liquidity into the system and especially help the lending efforts of NBFCs and others. So that's on the economic front. We are, of course, waiting for a bigger economic package. Also, the RBI is saying we'll do whatever it takes to keep the economy running. But it's time today for us to go a little bit from looking at what the country as a whole is doing, and the country does seem to be doing much better in the last 2 or 3 days. The rate of infection has flattened. It's now in single digits, the growth, and cases are doubling every 8 days. But that's for the country as a whole. Let's now start looking at individual states, because that's where the real story is. So if you look at individual states, there have been some states that have been hotspots all this time. Maharashtra, obviously, Delhi, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu. Now, if you look at some of those states, it seems clear that the rate of infections is starting to come down. In Delhi, in Tamil Nadu, in Rajasthan, the curve is flattening. New cases are starting to fall, happening to some extent in Maharashtra also, especially in these 3 states, it's really coming down. The worrying states are states like Madhya Pradesh in particular, and within Madhya Pradesh, Indore, the city of Indore, and Gujarat, and a couple of other states where suddenly cases seem to continue to be rising. So those are the states we're going to have to watch very carefully. Uttar Pradesh and others, well, we'll have to see. It could go either way. A couple of states, though, like Kerala, seem to have virtually cracked the problem, and Kerala increasingly be hailed as an international example of how you should fight coronavirus. Kerala itself and some individual areas, such as Bhilwara. So today, in our special reports, we are going to show you the Bhilwara model in particular. This is how one particular town was able to go from being the worst hotspot in India to 0 cases in less than a month.
Located in the Mewar region of Rajasthan, Bhilwara is a town that is home to nearly 30 lakh people. It is known as the textile city of India, but when Bhilwara became the hotbed of a pandemic, it quickly earned the title of India's Italy. But the district administration wasn't letting this title slide. In just about a week, Bhilwara went from among India's worst hotspots to 0 new coronavirus cases. The first positive case was reported in Bhilwara on the 19th of March. One private hospital in the city was the epicenter of the whole crisis, with doctors and staff infected. In a few days, the number of cases shot up to 27 with 2 deaths. So how did Bhilwara turn the corner? What followed was a ruthless containment strategy executed with clockwork precision, immaculate coordination, and extreme efficiency. The district authorities decided on a complete shutdown in less than an hour, and Bhilwara was sealed off, much before the nationwide lockdown on the 25th of March. The man behind it all, Rajendra Bhatt, Bhilwara's district collector. The 56-year-old IAS officer figured out a method in the madness. His strategy has 6 basic but crucial steps: isolate the district, map hotspots, door-to-door screening, aggressive contact tracing, ramping up quarantine, and putting in place a monitoring mechanism. Here is how it all panned out. On the 21st of March, all factories and industries employing more than 10 people were shut down. Transport from within and outside Bhilwara was banned on the 22nd. On 23rd, hotels and resorts were taken over by the government. They were asked to provide rooms to set up quarantine facilities. Guest houses of industries were taken over. The quarantine capacity was raised to 6,000 beds by the 24th of March. On 25th of March, hostels of educational institutions were taken over. A 24/7 war room was set up. 5 hospitals were taken over on the 26th of March along with staff and medical supplies to set up a quarantine facility. From 28th of March, suspects with symptoms were isolated at home, while nearly 3,900 homeless people were identified and given food and shelter. Special teams were set up on the 29th of March to monitor that suspects don't step out. A 24-hour survey was ordered. Door-to-door screening of 90% of Bhilwara's population was started on the 30th of March. Even migrant laborers were tested. When the infection peaked at 27 cases, authorities started doorstep delivery of milk and essential items. Perhaps the most crucial aspect of the Bhilwara model of containment was screening and testing. The administration conducted around 25,000 screenings in the entire district, the highest compared to the rest of Rajasthan. On the 6th of April, the Union Home Ministry released a document, a containment plan for large outbreaks, hinting at the replication of the Bhilwara model.
The Health Ministry, during its daily press briefing on coronavirus, said India's recovery rate is at 13.06%, adding that the doubling rate of COVID-19 cases 3 days before lockdown, now it's 6.2 days. India has a total of 13,387 confirmed cases of COVID-19. The Health Ministry said that a total of 1,749 patients have been cured. In the last 24 hours, 1,007 cases and 23 deaths have been reported across states in India.
लॉकडाउन से पहले अगर हमारे देश का डबलिंग रेट ऑफ केसेस लगभग 3 दिन था, तो पिछले 7 दिनों को अगर डेटा देखते हैं तो हमारा डबलिंग रेट अब 6.2 डेज है। और मैं आप लोगों की दृष्टि में लाना चाहूँगा कि 19 स्टेट्स ऐसे हैं, 19 स्टेट्स और यूनियन टेरिटरीज ऐसे हैं जहाँ पर कि डबलिंग रेट देश के एवरेज से भी कम है।
The Health Ministry said that 5 lakh rapid antibody testing kits have been sent to states and districts severely affected by COVID-19. The government added that there has been a 40% decline in the growth of new cases, and an analysis of the outcome of cases shows that around 80% of patients have recovered from coronavirus, while the rest 20% have died. The 19 states and union territories where the doubling rate is lower than the national level include Kerala, Uttarakhand, Haryana, Himachal Pradesh, Chandigarh, Ladakh, Puducherry, Delhi, Bihar, and many others. The Reserve Bank of India Governor Shaktikanta Das on Friday announced that the central bank has reduced the reverse repo rate, the rate at which banks park their fund with the central bank, by 25 basis points to 3.75%. This will encourage banks to lend to the productive sectors of the economy. However, the repo rate remains the same as the last policy committee.
Now, in order to encourage the banks to deploy these surplus funds in investments and loans in productive sectors of the economy, it has been decided to reduce the fixed rate reverse repo rate under the liquidity adjustment facility by 25 basis points from 4% to 3.75% with immediate effect.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Friday said announcements by the RBI will greatly enhance liquidity and improve credit supply. The RBI on Friday announced a slew of measures to improve liquidity in different segments of the economy. Prime Minister took to Twitter and said these steps would help our small businesses, MSMEs, farmers, and the poor. The government has made new additions to the list of activities that will be allowed amid lockdown in parts of the country that are least affected by coronavirus. Non-banking finance corporations and microfinance institutions will be marked essential services that can resume. Coconut, spice bamboo, areca nut and cocoa plantations and forest produce by scheduled tribes have also been added to the list. Construction in rural areas of water supply and sanitation and laying of power lines and telecom optical fibers and cables will also be allowed, according to a notification put out by the Home Ministry.
Lockdown may have spoiled many wedding plans, but when it comes to big fat VIP weddings, it seems no rules apply. Former Karnataka Chief Minister's son Nikhil married Revati, who is the grandniece of a Congress heavyweight in the state, in a luxurious ceremony at a farmhouse outside Bengaluru on Friday. Reports said that the media was not allowed at the venue and the state government had asked authorities to keep watch so that social distancing norms are followed at the wedding. Initially, a gala ceremony had been planned, but with the lockdown being extended, the event was shifted to a farmhouse instead of an open ground.